The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Welcome to today's Marketing Clinic with your host, Craig Proctor.
Hello, Andrea, and hello, coaching members. Today is our ad clinic, and we're going to look at some of the ads we've selected. This is your opportunity to ask me any questions you have about your marketing, okay, whether it be Facebook or Google pay-per-click or any kind of print advertising, outdoor advertising, radio, television, whatever questions you have, this is your chance to get directly to the source. Coach Rick Brash will be with us here shortly. He's just finishing up a coaching consultation. James is doing a half-day seminar, I think in Anaheim, California this morning. So let's start with ad number one. Just a reminder again, type in your chat questions, your comments, your questions, and we'll go to those throughout the webinar. So Andrea, it looks like I'm not really sure where this ad's being placed, to be honest. Tell us, do we know anything about where it was placed?
We don't. I emailed our member, Irene. I never heard back, unfortunately. So I believe it is an online ad of some sort because when I received it, I could click on the link, the stoprentandbuynow.com, and it would work. But that's all I could figure out. I do know that the link, the landing page, is branded, and we can go to that in a few moments.
Well, why don't we do that right now?
Okay.
This is a less branded ad. I think everyone would agree. Less branded, no picture of the realtor. And Andrea says we're going to a branded site, so there's no purpose in doing that. Okay, so that's clearly branded with Irene and Gary. So the idea here is if your ad is less branded, you want to drive to a less branded site. Okay, so that's not what we have happening here. Actually, Andrea, if you could go to my website, my less branded site, and go to that page, we'll show everybody where it's supposed to be going. Okay, so that's one of the things that could cause you a problem. You've got a good message, but you go to the wrong landing page. Okay, so Andrea's just going to flip back and forth. That's the less branded version, and you can see there's no threat of a real estate agent there. That's a safe place for a prospect to go and enter their information. But when you go to Irene's branded page, it's pretty clear that this is a landing page from a real estate salesperson. So in our experience, it just won't convert as well. Let's have a look at ad number two, please. By the way, we have a message here from Mark Antoine, and Mark is asking, he says, good morning, I'm in Canada, and I'd like to know if voice broadcasting is legal. If so, can I use it to advertise just listed and just solds? Mark, I believe it is. Now, in the U.S., the laws are different in different states, and it may be that way in Canada as well, where some provinces have different rules. But I'm not an expert on what's legal in all the different areas, Mark, but I would recommend that you call AMS, Automated Marketing Solutions, and just confirm that in your area, in your part of Canada, that you can use voice broadcasting for whatever purpose you want to use it. They'll have the answer to that. Here's a question from Marit. She says, good morning, Craig. Well, good morning, Marit. Marit is asking, do you suggest we use a just sold postcard to market referrals in the neighborhood and another area, and also to friends and family? Well, look, just listeds and just solds can be helpful as long as you have a call to action. So, a lot of the marketing pieces that I'm coming across lately, especially from new members, we forget to tell prospects what to do. There's no offer. If there's an offer, there's no call to action. So in my experience for just listeds and just solds, the most successful offer is an area home sales report. Okay, because that's who would be interested in like looking at a just listed or just sold card would be somebody that is a homeowner in the area and they're thinking of selling their home. So you could offer an online home evaluation on one side of the just listed or just sold card, and the area home sales report on the opposite. And Andrea, do you have any examples of my just listed or just sold cards or door hangers?
I was just in the midst of trying to find that, and I haven't done it yet. And then I got a hold of Rick, who's trying to join. So give me just a second and let me do all that, and I will try to pull it up for you.
All right, we're going to have Rick Brash, Coach Rick, join us here, and he'll help us answer questions and critique some of these ads. Rick, are you with us?
He hasn't joined us yet. I'm working on getting him the code for him to log in, and that's what my delay was earlier. So just give me
No
just
problem.
a second, and I'll get him on.
All right, we'll go to ad number 2, Andrea, while you're doing that. Now, ad number 2 was submitted by Daniel here, and he says he's going to be using this in a low-income area on a pizza menu. Okay, on flyers. Well, look, I have to question the media there, Daniel. I don't have any experience on advertising on pizza menu flyers. My gut tells me that would not be my first choice. However, I guess everything is a test. But if I look at your message, I don't think to the left side you've got a picture of a family. Daniel, I'm not sure if that's your family or just some random picture of a family. I don't think it adds to it. And then it says compliments of sale person. That's probably supposed to be salesperson, but why would we want to brand it like that? Wouldn't you want to have, your name and Remax as small as possible? I don't see how that's going to help your response, saying that this is compliments of a salesperson and then your name that big. So for me, I would take out the picture of the family. That way you'd have more room left to right for your headline. You could make your headline bigger. And I'd have my name and my company name very small. So it says, stop paying your landlord's mortgage. Free report reveals how easy it is to buy your own home. That red color on an orange background also makes that very difficult to read. So free report reveals how easy it is to buy your own home, and then your domain name, and then your free recorded message. You might even want to have a line that says, receive your free report at halifaxstopresrenting.net. So Daniel, I'm not sure if you're with us yet. If so, you can type any questions into the chat. And I don't know if you're about to do this or you've already done it. We'd like to know your results if you're actually using this.
And Rick should be on with us. He's muted his line, so he's probably still trying to join.
Okay, no problem. I'm going to take a couple more chat questions here. Here's a question from Devora Cohen. And Devora is asking, when do we print business cards and how? Are they always related to each campaign? Well, you can, Devora. You could have several different business cards. Okay, a lot of our top members do. They'll have a business card for buyers that they'll hand it to a buyer prospect, and they'll have a different set of business cards that they'll give out to sellers. Some of our members will have a buyer offer on one side of their business card and a seller offer on the other side of their business card. And Andrew, if you can take us to the ad generator, if everybody looks at the ad generator, and we'll pull it up here, you'll see that it is formatted in a business card style. So this could be your business card. If we click on any of these, Andrea, right there, why could that not be your business card, right? It's got your picture and your name where it should be, and it's got an offer, and it's got a call to action. Okay, so that could be one side of your business card, and we've got all these different USPs that you could you could choose from. If we just flip back to all the different choices, Andrea, of offers for sellers, that could be on one side of your business card. You get all those choices. Now, let's flip over to buyers. Okay, you could have a buyer offer on the opposite side of your business card. Okay, and there's a buyer offer. Hopefully by now, those of you that are new to the system and coaching program have had an opportunity to look at the ad generator and all the amazing resources that we have for you folks. We try to make it really, really easy for you to copy what I did and what our top agents are doing right now. Next question is from Ariel. She says God morning, but I'm pretty sure she means good morning. I was trying to, hi Rick, good morning, trying to create my ad, and I chose the lead generation tab. After completing my ad, I got presented with, I need to fill out a form. Obviously, I chose the wrong medium. What is the correct link for the ad? I also created advertising off my realtor business page, which forced my picture into the ad. How do I avoid this? I'm not sure what Ariel is asking. Andrea, do you understand that?
I don't. I'm not sure. At first I thought maybe she was talking about Facebook, and then I thought maybe she was speaking about our ad generator, so I was just very confused about what you were reading.
So was I. Good morning, Rick. How are you today?
Well, Craig, I'm great today. I've been up sitting at my desk doing coaching calls since early this morning, so I'm in the zone. I think maybe what she's using is the ad generator on the Success website. I'm not sure, but if you go to the ad generator in the coaching website,
maybe
it's simple and easy to use. There it is. You just pull up the ad, you insert your information. We don't need a picture in these. We need your name in small type at the bottom. It instructs you how to do that. This is the ad we want you to use. Just copy this. It's proven. It works. It has a track record. Copy this. Download it to your computer. Share it with the rep at the newspaper if that's where it is. Take this language and put it into a Facebook ad and add an attractive image, and you're off to the races. Really simple. We've made this as simple as can be. Craig, you always talk about removing indiscretion at the operating level. That's the purpose of the ad generator.
Here's a question from Diana Lou. Diana is asking, hello, Craig, I'm a new member, and I just got a lead from my Google unbranded for a home evaluation last night. What should I do now? Please advise. I've got the email and the phone number. Well, Diana, what you want to do is you want to call the prospect back using the universal callback script. So, Rick, I'll be the prospect, and I want you to pretend you're Diana. Okay, now this prospect, me in this case, has requested an online home evaluation off a Google ad.
Sure.
That I don't know is coming from a realtor, right? It's just I see it. It's non-branded. So you're calling me back. What would you say?
Ring, ring. Is Craig Proctor there, please?
Speaking.
Hey, Craig. This is Rick Brash calling with the Real Estate Pros. The reason for my call is earlier today you had visited my website and you had requested some information with respect to the value of your home. Just calling to let you know we got it. We did put something together and dropped that in today's mail. And I was just curious, Craig, were you asking for that because you're thinking of selling your home in the next couple of months?
We've been thinking about it.
And Craig, if you did decide to sell and move, would you be staying in the area where you live now, or are you going somewhere else?
Well, we'd want to stay in the area.
All right. And Craig, what's your timing on this? When would you like to have that sale and move all completed by?
Probably late fall.
Okay. And are you working with any agents on this project yet?
We have an agent that we met at an open house.
Okay. And is he helping you buy your next home, or are you going to sell first before you buy?
It's actually a she.
Okay. And she has showed us a few homes, yes. Okay, so are you feeling 100% committed to her, or would you be open to looking at what other agents do to make you money and succeed?
I don't know. Aren't you guys all kind of the same?
Well, I'm not really sure what she's doing, Craig, but you know, one of the starting points for getting your home sold and into a new home is having a look at actually what your home would sell for in today's market. So I might propose that we do a free market evaluation to help you see exactly how your home would sell in today's market. And on top of that, maybe I could introduce you to some tips that would help you, really maximize your exposure and maximize your sale price. I could even go over a net sheet with you and your wife so you could see exactly where you stand in terms of your equity. And look, it's all free. There's absolutely no obligation whatsoever to work with me, but would that be a good starting point for you in this project of buying and selling?
All right, so good job, Rick. So Diana, that's what it sounds like. That's what you're going to do, and you're going to do that with every lead you generate. And you can see Rick makes it sound kind of natural, kind of conversational. At first, when you're using my universal callback script, it might seem a little bit weird because, these are Craig's words, not your words. But as you practice with it and internalize it and become really good at it, you'll no longer think of it as Craig's words. They'll be your words. You'll take ownership of them. All right, next question, and then we'll go back to some more ads. This is from Carmen Torman, and Carmen is asking, Facebook flagged one of our accounts but did not explain why. Although this happened before joining Craig's coaching program, I would be grateful to find out the reasons why Facebook flags accounts so that we can avoid making this same mistake. Any answer to that, Rick?
Well, I'm not used to hearing about Facebook flagging accounts. Usually that's a Craigslist language thing. But here's one of the things you want to look at. Have a good look at the privacy policy on the landing page you're using in conjunction with your Facebook ad. Over the years, that's been the single thing that's caused the most grief for our agents, is a word or two that's not correct in the privacy policy. Success Website, if you're using those pages, they went through a couple of transitions to make Facebook happy, and the privacy policy they have now works really well. That's the only thing I can think of, Craig, that would create that. The second thing might be if you've used images that have words in them, that's not allowed. So if you continue to upload images with your USP in them or something like that, that gets Facebook mad as well.
All right, good points, Rick. Let's go back and look at some more ads while our members type in more questions and comments into the chat box.
And what we're looking at right now is a just sold card. And I've been looking all over my database to see what I can find. And I couldn't really find anything specific to you, Craig, but this one kept on popping up in our Platinum Marketing Clinic files. So I wanted to pull this up as an example of the just sold that you were speaking of.
Okay, well, I don't think this is a just sold.
Right. In most, I would say 95% of the just sold, when I search that, comes up with our statistical marketing.
Okay,
So,
well, I know I have them because
too.
I created them. We'll look for those. We'll show you folks some examples of just solds. In fact, Rick, Marnie Bennett sent me her just listeds and her just solds, and I know them. I have them on my PowerPoint presentation. So, Andrew, I could get those to you. Now, Marnie Bennett, for those that may not know her, we probably think she knows what she's talking about. I believe last year she did about $6 million in GCI, one of our top members in GCI, if not. She's been a member for several years. She's in Ottawa. And I think she's somewhere around on pace for $5 to $6 million in GCI this year. She will be at the Toronto Super Conference, by the way, in August, and she's going to be on the marketing panel.
She's a great lady.
Yeah, so I will send those to you, Andrea, so we can look at those next week.
That's awesome. Thank you.
All right, let's go back to the ads that were submitted, and we'll have a look at some more of the ads that were submitted and take some more questions. Andy's asking, as members, can we get a copy of those? If Andy, you're referring to the just listed and solds, absolutely. Jeff Fairchild is asking, where do they get the statistics such as we sell homes for more or faster? So Jeff says, I was on the Reality website, but I could not pull up stats just for myself. That's correct, Jeff. So you're going to have to calculate the list to sales ratio, okay, like your own list to sales ratio on the homes that you've sold. So you know your own listings, you know what the asking price was, you know what it sold for. So that's how you're going to come up with your list to sales ratio and your days in the market. But the Reality program will tell you what the real estate board average was. So that's how you're going to do it. You have to manually do yours, but the Reality program will give you the MLS averages. Okay, so let's have a look at ad number 3, which isn't really an ad. It's a landing page. How much is your Irvine home worth in today's marketplace, in today's market? So we don't have the ad that goes with this. Is that correct, Andrea?
That's correct. This was all that I could find that was submitted.
Okay, so it's a fine-looking landing page, but we don't have the ad that drives to it, so I can't really comment on the entire campaign. Let's go to ad number 4.
Okay, hold on one moment.
Okay, now we did look at ad number 4 before we got started. Andrea and I did a preview, we like to do a little dress rehearsal before we get started here on Friday mornings, Rick. And it looks like our member here, okay, here's what's going on from what I can see. So it looks like our member, and do we have our member's name? Do you know who submitted this, Andrea?
Linda Doyle.
Linda.
Or I may be saying their last name incorrectly, but it's Linda.
Okay, so here's what it says. So Linda submitted this, and Linda says, I understand that this is branded. My husband thinks because he delivers to this area of 700 people. So her husband in the bottom right-hand corner is the postman. Okay, so that's a picture of her husband in his postman suit, his uniform. And so anyway, I understand that this is branded. My husband thinks because he delivers to this area of 700 people, because they know him and houses go on the market often, that this would help. My thought was to do a split test of these 2 ads as direct mailing postcards. I'm trying to keep the peace, so her husband thinks this is a good idea. Everyone that's married kind of gets that. I will go with what your suggestion is. Nothing has been ordered, and I do not own this domain name yet. Okay, Linda, first thing, I think your husband could get in trouble for this. I don't know what the U.S. Post Office rules are, but so Linda's the realtor, her husband's the postman, pictures of both of them on this, and the message is a bit confusing. We got actually 2 messages here. At the top of the postcard, it says your Ocala home may be already sold. Our database is full of buyers, not specific, just full of buyers wanting to move to this area. So what I would say is my database is full of, and a specific number, 1,282 buyers wanting to move into this area. And there needs to be a call to action. If you're thinking of selling your home, call me now to see if one of my buyers matches, one of my, 1,800 buyers, whatever the number is, matches your home. Then we go on to a completely different offer. It says, receive a free no obligation report on what the home down the street sold for. Now this is somewhat copied off the ad generator, meaning it's like pretty good, and there is a call to action. Now in marketing, Rick, there's an old saying, the confused mind does nothing.
Yep.
So it's a little bit confusing. If I'm confused, I always say, well, if I'm confused, the prospect may be confused as well. Now, below it, I think Linda has submitted her other marketing piece. She's suggesting this is a split test. You know, I would test my husband's ID on top with a picture of him, the postman, and then below it, here's a different offer. Your home may be already sold. Our database is full of buyers. Again, it's the same offer. It's the same offer. I would definitely go with the bottom one. But I would pick one of the two, Linda.
Yeah.
Let's just go back to the ad generator. And, you know, look, I want you guys to be creative. However, to begin with, why don't we just copy? So I'm not suggesting that you can't come up with something better than what I've created in the last 20 years. Maybe you can. But to get started, if we just copy what has been given to you folks, that's what I would recommend. That's what you're paying for in this program. So if you want a seller postcard, generate seller leads, why not go to the postcard generator and use the postcard that's been proven to work by far, like way better than anything that's been submitted here. That's what I would do. I would use what I'm paying for, a license to use what's been proven to work. If your focus is, I want to generate as many high-quality seller leads as possible with direct mail, this is the one that I would use. Now, is this the only postcard that I have? No. We have many postcards. Andrea, if you could go to the BXL, our printer's website, Andrea is going to show you that we have dozens of postcards for you folks to choose from. So you may be asking, well, gee, Craig, when you've created dozens of postcards, why on the postcard generator do you only feature one? Well, here's the answer. Because we took the one that works the best. That's what we did. We took the postcard that works the best and we made it real simple. Remember, the confused mind does nothing. So we didn't want to confuse you folks. But we've got tons of testimonials about our postcards. There they all are. There's dozens of them for you to choose from. But we picked the one that works the best. And that's the one that you folks can copy. That's what I would do. Any comments on that, Rick?
I like the idea of copying what works. So I can't add anything to that, Craig. Just there it is. Just use it. You know, and the ad. There is some confusion with the ad. The ad is a combination of, I think, two offers. Two offers that work, by the way, but the marriage of the two is a little bit on the confusion side. So yeah, just go in the website, go to the postcard generator, create your version of that card, and get it out there. And I would also suggest that sending this card to only 700 houses is a pretty thin test. You know, the minimums for postcards are clear. We talk about this every week. We should be sending that card to 5,000 homes that are identified as a high turnover area, and we should be doing that every 2 weeks.
Yep,
that
absolutely. In fact, if Andrew, if you go back to the ad generator, Rick, I don't know if you know this, but when I had Adrian create the postcard generator, I wasn't specific with him on quantity. So you can see that on the pull-down box under quantity, the minimum we allow our members to order now is 2,000.
Yep.
Prior to that, we had 50, 100. So, you know, that was our fault. So we'd have a member order 50 postcards, and, you know, we're surprised that they didn't get a response. It's just not enough.
You know, Craig, I have to tell you, Craig, you never told me 2,000. Your counsel to me was start with 5,000, and that's what we did. So that's what I tell people too.
Yep, I agree with that. We're starting at 2,000, but 5,000 is really a more meaningful test.
Now, some of you might be sitting there thinking, "Holy crap, 5,000 cards! This is a more expensive ad campaign than, say, a Facebook ad or an ad in the newspaper, without question." So there's a couple of things you want to make sure you're clear on. You want to make sure you're clear on your target market. We want an area of activity. Activity breeds activity. The second thing is make sure You develop skill with your universal callback script. If you're dropping a nice little dollar on this campaign every 2 weeks and you're blowing all the leads you're getting, you know what? That's a big problem too. That creates discouragement. So these things have to work hand in hand. This is the system, and you want to work on all parts of it.
Okay, Jeff Fairchild is asking, when we order the Every Door Direct postcards that we're looking at now, with the area home sales report on one side and the online home evaluation on the other side, where does the EDDM stamp go on it? They will put it on for you. Okay, so Jeff, you don't have to worry about that. They know that if you're in the U.S., that you need to have the Every Door Direct Marketing stamp on it. Okay, these are mine. Okay, I operate in Canada, so we don't have to have that stamp on it. But BXL, the printer, knows that. If you're in the U.S., they understand that there has to be a space for that stamp. So they'll take care of that for you. But you can call and clarify that.
And for our Canadian members on the ad clinic today, if you're making notes, the system we use in Canada is called unaddressed ad mail. Unaddressed ad mail. It's the same program that our American friends use, but that's what we call it at Canada Post, and it's canadapost.ca.
All right, now Andy's got a good question here. He says, I do EDDM, Every Door Direct Mailing, and I use 8.5 by 11. Is that okay? All right, so here's what I found out a couple weeks ago. I was using a slightly different size in Canada than what is allowable in the U.S. The U.S. You're allowed to send out a little different size, so we are going to create one size that works for both the U.S. and Canada. Let me pull up my email if I may here, and I'll try to get the specifics on it. I can't remember exactly how that conversation went, but Rick, you continue on, and I'll try to find that because I know that there was an issue with the sizes being slightly different here. Hang on, I found it right now. I'm very efficient with my email.
I can make a comment, but I won't.
Yes. Okay, so here's my email to Glenn at BXL. I said, look, it changed the minimum order from 50 to at least 2,000 because it's not going to work if you send out 50. Let me see if I can find out about size here. Maybe I'm not as efficient as I thought I was. 1 second. Okay, well, now I can't find it. But yes, we are addressing the size issue. And sorry, I can't find that email. But yeah, there was a discrepancy between the postcard size that was allowable in Canada and the U.S., but we have found a size that works for both. And I believe it is the size, Andy, that you're looking at there, 8.5 by 11, I believe is the size we're going with that works in both Canada and the U.S. But I'll confirm that. Ad number 5. Well, Rick, we've got a USP ad here, and this is kind of like the ad generator. It almost looks like it, and I guess my question would be, why not, Lee, why not make it look exactly like the ad generator? I'm not sure. This may be a business card?
Yeah, I'm not sure what it is either. There's some typos on here that need to be addressed, and there's no apostrophe after day, and there's no apostrophe after your. So there's a couple of typos that need to be fixed.
Yes, and
so Lee Brickey is saying it was used for a picture on Zillow.
Okay. All right, well, you want to fix up the typos, Lee. Here's another thing that I would like to see, and if you go to the ad generator, you'll see that we have got the layout set up a little bit differently. Lee, your picture should be in the top it should be set at the top, not your company logo or your company name. Remember, buyers and sellers deal with the agent, not necessarily the company. So if you take a look at the layout here, the way we want this set up is your picture and your name associated with the benefit, right? That's the headline is the ad for the ad, right? Your headline should be at the top of the marketing piece, and so should you're trying to associate this big, powerful benefit with you. So to me, your picture and your name should be at the top of the marketing piece, not at the bottom. What you've got at the top, in the top left-hand corner, is you've got your company logo and your company name. That can be at the bottom. Would everybody agree with that? That this would be much more effective if Lee had his name and his picture at the top. He's got his name there, but his picture should be above it instead of the company name and logo. The company name and logo can go at the bottom. Okay, you, the person, is more important than the company. Let's go on and look at our next marketing piece. And we'll see if we've got some more questions here.
I'm going to blow this up for you guys.
All right, this is a question from Judy De Leon, and Judy says, I'm new to the system. Where do I go to get my 800 numbers for print ads? So I don't know if Judy's referring to, like, how do I get them set up? What would you take from that, Rick?
Well, our 800 number provider, if you're making notes, is Automated Marketing Solutions. Andrew's bringing it up there. And their phone number, as it shows right here, is 800-858-8889. And if you want a contact number, you can talk to Amy over there, and she'll get you set up with your information line or your USP property tree for your listings. But that's where you go. And the reason we go there, guys, just so we're clear, we go there is they also give you the pre-recorded script library that Craig created for us to use. And everything is done. All you have to do is turn this thing on.
So if you go to the ad generator for a second, Andrea, please. I want everyone to understand, like click on maybe editorial ads, that we give you the ID number in the campaign. There's no guesswork. And when you have your AMS hotline set up, it's already recorded. The script is already recorded in the ID number to the left. So it's in 1000 for that particular campaign. And if we flip back again, you'll see right along the left there, Andrea, that's the best way to show it. Under ID number, right along there, those scripts are recorded in those ID boxes. So they're going to give you an 800 series number, and you would know what ID number to run in your ad because it's right here. And let's go to the costly home seller mistakes ad. Let's pop that up. Just to remind everybody how easy it is to customize your ad and have it as a perfect replica. Okay, so they're going to give you an 800 number. Maybe just make one up there, Andrea. It could be an 800 series, so it could be 877, 1888, 1-800, doesn't matter. So Andrea's going to just make one up, but they'll give you the number. And then you don't have to worry about the ID 1000. That's where the script is already when you get the hotline set up with AMS. You're going to have the same script that Rick and I have recorded by the exact same person that recorded ours. So you can see here, your marketing will be a perfect replica of ours. The ad will look the same, other than, we've customized this to say Orlando Beach. There's no beach in Orlando, by the way, Andrew.
Well,
you're going to look long and hard to find the beach in Orlando.
Yeah, that's true.
that's what I get for never leaving Texas.
Yeah, I know, you're trying to be creative.
Good job. Good job, yeah.
Just personalize it. That's what I'm getting at.
You see, everyone, Andrea is from Austin, Texas, so, she doesn't know Florida that well, but it'd be like saying your Austin beach home.
Beachfront.
Beachfront.
Oh.
You see, we're here, folks, we're here not just to educate, but to entertain as well, so Hope
Like
you
a
guys
show.
are enjoying it. Yep. So that's how easy it is, folks. With the hotline, it's all set up. If you have any questions, AMS is happy to explain it all to you, but it's pretty simple. Okay, next question is from Mary Pinelli. And Mary says, here in Toronto, where I'm from, homes are selling for $300,000 over the asking price within a week. And thanks to media reports of the hottest market, sellers already know that they can sell fast and for top dollar. So what USP would work for sellers in this marketplace? Should I create one for their purchase since they're buying first? Well, look, there's lots of USPs that we can pick from, Mary. So let me give you one for sellers first. Andrew is going to click on sellers. And let's click on one that Mary could use. How about 100% of your asking price will pay the difference? So you're saying homes sell for at least 100% of the asking price. Well, Mary, I don't know how brave you are, but if you feel really confident that all the homes that you list would sell for $300,000 more of the asking price, then you could guarantee that, I guess. Right?
110%, yep.
Yep, 105%. How about your home sold for $300,000 above your asking price, guaranteed, or I'll pay you the difference. So you could, whatever you feel you can guarantee. I don't know how bold you want to be, Mary, but there's your opportunity to do it. Now, if we go to the buyer side, see Rick Brash in Calgary several years ago when oil was over $100 a barrel and everybody was moving, all this money was coming into Calgary. Calgary was in the same type of market that Toronto was experiencing right now, and many markets. Like it's a real hot market. Listings are selling overnight for over the asking price. So, Rick, talk about how you handled this very situation in Calgary.
Well, the fear was not with the seller selling. The fear was with the buyer buying for cash with no conditions in the offer, no inspection, no nothing. So we sat around and realized that if we manage the risk, that's what a good USP does, of the buyer, we would probably endear some calls. So we came up with our buyback guarantee. Buy a home with us, and if it's anything less than perfect, we'll buy it back. So that's the third one there. And that was a really good one in our marketplace and should work for anybody in a crazy busy market where there's multiple offers. You protect your buyer all the way through the process. And that one worked really good for me.
Yeah, so in Toronto, a buyer would have to make these decisions very, very quickly, right, when you're in this kind of market. Buyers often can't even have conditions in their offer. They've got to act immediately. They've got to go in over the asking price. So Rick's point was the buyer could make a mistake, right? Buyers don't feel comfortable operating under all that pressure. So Rick said, well, look, I understand the situation. I will guarantee if you don't love your home, I'll either sell it for free or I'll buy it back. So, that's something that might be appealing to buyers in this kind of marketplace. Let's go back and look at some more of the questions. Irene is asking, which version is connected to your printer, PC35 or PC43? I'm not sure exactly what she's asking. In the ad generator, are we using PC35 and 43?
Well, those are the panels. Those are the panels, front and back of the postcard. So create the card, download it to your computer so you have a copy of it, then call Lynn at BXL Printers, send it to her, and she'll print them for you.
Okay, so I get the question now. Yeah, both of them go right to the printer, right? They're both connected.
That's right. You just pick whichever one, pick the amount, make sure you put your website in that you've chosen, just one size to pick, and just hit send order to BXL. I'm kind of afraid to hit the send button because I don't want to make a fake order, but I'm sure you get some sort of confirmation.
Yeah.
All right. Jeff Fairchild says, what about this USP? Sell your home in less than 60 days, and I'll pay you $1,000. This will motivate sellers to price it right. Well, Jeff, that is a good USP in some markets. I think Mary's point was here in Toronto, promising a seller that you'll take 60 days to sell their home would be no big deal. Every seller knows that because they're selling in 6 days. They're sometimes selling in 6 minutes. Yep. So you've got to have a look. See, this is what we talked about in coaching session number 2, right? We talked about selecting your target market. So Mary says, my target market is sellers here in Toronto. Well, what is it that sellers want? What's going on in the marketplace now? See, we need to know who we're talking to. We need to understand what's important to them, so then we can go to work on finding the right message that'll match what our target market is interested in. So Rick, a minute ago, talked about how he looked at what was happening in Calgary, super hot marketplace. Buyers were under pressure to immediately put in firm cash offers, and sometimes they made mistakes. So Rick came up with a guarantee that if you buy a home under this pressure, you're not happy with the home anytime within whatever period, 18 months, I'll sell it for free or I'll buy it back. Another guarantee we looked at here a second ago was your home sold for 100% of your asking price or more, or I'll pay you the difference. And I said to Mary, well, Mary, I don't know how bold or brave you are, but if you're really confident that all the homes in your target market are selling for $300,000 or more, well, make that your guarantee. See, the idea here is to make the biggest promise you can both make and keep. If I knew 100% for sure that all the listings that I took on, now remember the condition is the seller has to list at your price. That's the condition. So if I listed 25 homes in this neighborhood and they all sold, all 25 of them, for $300,000 or more over the asking price that I'd recommended, I'd feel pretty confident guaranteeing that. And then, because it's your offer, what would be the consequence? You get to decide what the consequence would be. Obviously, you don't want to penalize yourself too much. You know, I look at these USPs this way. You create the rules. So be open-minded about this, folks. This is an offer that you yourself is making. I think at the Super Conference, the analogy I used, Rick, is if you were playing a board game with your family and you got to set the rules, you'd win every single time. Well, that's exactly what you can do here. It's your USP. You don't have to be enslaved by Craig's rules or ideas or Rick's or anybody else's. I want you to look at your marketplace, determine what the opportunity is, and make the biggest promise you can both make and keep.
Yeah, very important.
All right, let's look at what we have here. Maybe you can give us some background.
I do not know specifically what this is. I know it's a mail piece. It has a little postage part right here. And I know this member, Andy, is on the session with us. We can either have him just chat with us or we can get him on audio.
Well, let's get Andy on audio. If he has audio, let's get him connected.
Okay, let's check it out. Hold on one second. Andy, say hello. I've opened your mic.
Hello.
Good morning, Andy.
Hey, how are you?
Andy, where are you located?
Miami, Florida.
I guess that was a really dumb question because just as I asked that question, I'm looking at your domain name. So I'm allowed to have at least one stupid question every day, so we've got that out of the way. Tell us a little bit about your marketing piece here, Andy.
That's an EDDM piece that went out to 2,500 people. What else would you like to know?
You've sent it out already?
I sent that one out already. I got one listing from it so far, and I have another call. I got another call. So I got 2 calls, 1 listing.
Okay, well, let's start by looking at the, not the side that we're looking at now with all the copy on. Let's look at below. So would you call that the front of the mailing piece or the back?
You can call it whatever you like. It's a postcard, so whatever. This what we're looking at now, and that's where my USP is.
Okay. The Miami Dream Team did it again. Just sold. Choosing the wrong realtor could cost you thousands of dollars, and or the sale of your rental or your home. We will sell your home in 17 days, 3 hours or less. 17 days and 3 hours or less. Where did you get the 3 hours from?
It got the phone to ring more.
Okay. So you're being specific. 17 days.
Yeah. These have
maybe you better add some minutes. Okay. Now, where's the call to action?
That's a good point.
You see, and this is we're so close to our marketing that sometimes we don't see the obvious. So you've got a great headline here, and you're saying it's working, and you've got a listing from it, but you're not really telling the prospect what you want them to do. Now, you may assume, well, they should know. Here's my picture, Andy, in the bottom left, and my phone number. But would you agree, in Miami, there are prospects for sure that would pick up the phone and call you or Ben because they're ready to take action now and sell their home. But would you also agree that there's a heck of a lot more seller prospects that would be interested in your offer, but they're not quite ready to pick up the phone and call a real estate salesperson yet?
I agree with that.
Right, so you're not capturing those because you're not giving those prospects that are not quite ready yet to contact a real estate salesperson a non-threatening way to get the information. So Andrea is going to take us over to the ad generator. And if
I have a question. Before you do that, below the $1,000, it says call for details and conditions. Should I eliminate that part?
Did you get any calls?
I would just copy. I would just copy.
I get calls all the time, but from those ads. But am I blocking some people thinking, hey, there are conditions? This is a gimmick?
Well, look, I wouldn't have that there unless your real estate association said you had to. It's like you're okay. So let's go to the ad generator for a second, Andy. Okay. Now check this out. This is the format that we'd really like you guys to start to copy. Okay, Andrea's going to pull up under sellers and pull up a similar USP. Andrea, please.
The first one.
This is pretty.
Okay, so order a free report by visiting. You've got a domain name they can go to, or they can call an 800 number, or they can still call you, Andy. So we're not taking that out of play that we could say the most serious sellers or the most ready to act, they can still call you. But the point I want to make here is the majority of prospects are not yet to contact a salesperson. So we want to make it easy and non-threatening for people that are not quite ready to call you to do so. So you can follow up with those leads. But you've got the best of both worlds with this setup because they can the ready to act people can still pick up the phone and call your direct number. They still have that option. But we're also giving people that are not quite ready to speak to a salesperson an opportunity to do this as well.
So now I just put that into the postcard and take out.
Andrea's customizing it right now for you. Now we don't have the date. We don't have the hours.
Yeah, there's no way for me to do that part.
The hours.
You can do it later.
Okay, so we have another piece from Andy, so let me pull that one up now.
Okay. How are things in Miami today, Andy?
Nice and hot.
Nice. Okay, now this is kind of like a sideways looking piece here, so can we turn that around, Andrea, please? So tell us about this side, Andy. What's happening here?
All right, so this one is a market update on the top. My call to action you can see. And then in the back, I never had it where I really just wanted it just a website, and that's it. So now they could either call me because it says call for details. See, that's what I normally put. Call for
Yep.
details at. And then on the other side, you have the website. Or you can go to the website, basically.
Okay, I'm having a hard time seeing this. Can we make it bigger, Andrea, and turn it?
can. I apologize. I had it all perfect, and then I lost it, so I'm having to reopen it. Just give me 1 second. I believe I have it
Okay.
now. I had to go back to the original one he sent me in my email. It should come
There
up
we
real big. Yeah.
There it is.
On the top is what's been selling recently. Then you have what I rented or sold or for rent or for sale. And then you have my USP.
Well, I know that sellers are definitely interested in what's selling in the area, so it's a great way to get eyeballs on your marketing piece.
Yeah, because they'll usually keep this part because they whatever, they want information.
Can I see the bottom of that again, Andrea, please?
Just the bottom of the
And
first
the bottom
page.
of the AC.
Yep. And what's with the AC company at the bottom? Do they pay for the ad?
Well, no, normally I would have him pay something for the ad, but this is it's actually his mother's going to be selling her house with me, so I said, hey, whatever. So I did something nice for him.
Okay. We could kind of flip this around.
Have this on top, USB.
Yeah, you could have that on top. And now it doesn't have, I'd have my picture next to it, my name, and yeah, I would probably do that.
So this one says call me.
Well, it's a bit messed up because it says if we don't sell your home, and then you're saying call Andy. So is it we or you?
Well, I should say yes, I guess, the Miami Dream Team. But how do you say call? I guess just call us, the Miami Dream Team, and my number.
Well, I would have, again, like we just talked about, I would have a non-threatening way for prospects to get this information and a direct number.
Got it.
But I would have, if it's true that your headline has got your biggest benefit and the headline is the ad for the ad, the headline should be at the top of the marketing piece. Your biggest benefit should be at the top. I would experiment with flipping that around.
Got it.
All right, well, look, have a great day in Miami, Andy. Thanks for submitting your pieces.
Okay, we're at the top of the hour, and I always like to do my reminders. We have a helpline session this coming Monday after your fabulous weekend. You're going to come back, and we're going to answer every single question you have about the system. Like always, just go to the webinar schedule, and you can see everything here.
All right, I'm going to look and see if we have any final chat questions before we wrap this up. So, Rick, how's it going with our newest system and coaching members from the Orlando conference?
We're having a blast, Craig. Great group, really enthusiastic, hardworking, willing to do what we ask them to do, willing to copy. I'm having a really good time with our new members.
Oh, that's good to hear, and hopefully everybody's having fun and getting engaged with the program here. Now, you should be preparing for these webinars. For example, Andrea just mentioned the helpline webinar. Any questions that you have, you don't have to just wait to talk to your coach. Write those questions down. It's a good idea to write them down because if you don't, you'll forget them. So come prepared and organized on Monday with any questions you have throughout the week, and we'll take as many as we can. Let's take a few more questions here before we wrap this up. Here's a question from Marilyn. She's asking, is there a pre-recorded message on the hotline for your home sold in under blank days, or do we have to record the message? They do have at AMS a branded hotline tree. It's called the USP property tree. Okay, it's not something that we that we give our members, but you can purchase it. I see our vendors will obviously try to sell you a whole bunch of things. That's what they do. That's what vendors do. But they do have a USP property tree that you can purchase that have all of the scripts for these different USPs already recorded. And Rick, maybe you can talk a little bit about how you've used that.
Well, the USP property tree is a branded piece. So the introduction when the consumer calls is you. It's you talking. It's your voice. And in that introduction, you make mention of a couple of the USPs that you stand for. So that one that Craig just mentioned could be one. You might have a USP mention about your guaranteed sale program, your buyback guarantee. And the consumer just simply has to press one button to hear more information about your USP, or they press 4 buttons, 4 digits, to get information on the listings. So that's, as Craig said, that's a branded hotline. And when you start to list properties and get an inventory of listings, we recommend that you use that. And like Craig said, AMS can answer all your questions about it. But it's a really handy tool if you're doing some print media.
Yeah, and as you can see, on the ad generator, we have a transcription of all the scripts. So you can use the recordings that we've already recorded with the USP property tree, or if you wish, you could just record them yourself, right? Or have someone in your office record them for you if you don't like your voice or whatever.
Yep.
We found, by the way, that a female voice works better than a male voice. And tonality is very important as well. You don't want to sound salesy. You want to sound like you're just an information provider.
Right. Right.
Okay, hey, we've got some great comments here. Here's one from Rebecca. Rebecca says, I'm one of your brand new system and coaching members, and I enjoy working with Kristen Stampini, Coach Kristen Stampini out of Boca. Kristen doesn't mess around. No, she doesn't. She does not mess around. And we actually have Irene Bort saying, Rick is great. I'm a brand new member. Thank you. Well, Rick, I'm sure will appreciate that.
Thanks, Irene. And I'll tell you what, Craig, Irene is a great example. She emails me constantly with great questions, so she's working really hard.
You've impressed people today. Paul says, can I switch to Rick for a coach? Holy cow.
Hey, Paul,
Okay.
one time on a coaching call, I said, could I switch to Craig for a coach? And that didn't happen, but hey.
All right, let's see. I've got a couple more that have just come in here. Pat is asking, your home sold for free. How do you handle the selling agent's commission? Okay, so Pat, if we pull up the certificate for that, there's a certificate generator I hope you guys are all aware of. One of the rules or conditions of that offer, Pat, is the seller is always going to be responsible for the buyer's agent commission. So when we say, your home sold in X amount of time or we'll sell it for free, we're only referring to the listing portion of the commission. So let's show everybody where it says that. Where does it say that here?
Number one.
Number one. Read that to me, Andrea, please.
In this agreement, the Craig Proctor home selling team guarantees that the seller's home is not sold within the first 120 days of listing at the maximum sale price of blank, that the Craig Proctor home selling team will continue to market the seller's home for an additional blank days and not charge the seller any commission whatsoever with respect to the listing portion of the commission. However, the seller will be responsible for the selling portion of the commission payable to the agent company that brings the buyer.
Very good reading. Excellent reading.
Thank you.
Okay, so there it is. So the certificate generator can be customized just like everything else. So this says 120 days. Change it to 30 days, please, Andrea. Now, let's say you have a team. You might want to change under Edible Region 2, change aisle to we. And you're not the Craig Proctor home selling team. You're the Rick Brash home selling team. So you change it to Rick Brash. And where it says 120 days there, we're going to change that to 30. Okay, edible region 5. I'm not sure what that is. Type that in. What's that change? Okay.
Would
Oh, yes.
be
We'll
the
market
additional
your home.
days.
Right. Right. So you can put in 60 days. And number 6, the seller agrees to sign well, this would be a 90-day listing. Can everybody see that? I'm going to guarantee that I'm going to sell your home in 30 days, or I won't even take a listing commission, and I will market your home for an additional 6 days after that. So it's a 90-day listing. The first 30 days, I sell it in the first 30 days, I get my full commission, but in the next 60 days, if I sell it, I don't get any listing commission, and then at day 9, buyers.
So,
Okay,
region 6 needs to say 3, Andrea, not 90.
Right, because it's not 90 months. That would not make much sense. That'd be a really long time.
That's a long time.
Okay, we have a question here from Alex regarding BXL online home evaluation postcard. I just sent some 36 hours ago, and so far I've got 3 leads. Members may like to know that. It works great. Well, thank you very much, Alex. Oh, now he's typed in 4 leads. Another lead has come in.
Congratulations.
So, yeah, congratulations. So Alex is saying I sent out the very postcard that we just showed you. Let's show it up there again, please, Andrea. And he's already generated 4 leads in 36 hours.
Just imagine that, Craig. It actually works the way you've designed it.
Hey, Alex, record your follow-up and send it to the role play.
Yeah. Laura says, I am also glad to have Rick. A lot of fans here, Rick. Okay, look, we're going to wrap this up. Andrea, just repeat what happens next week.
So next week we have a ton of webinars, actually. The first of which is going to be on Monday, the Helpline Clinic. We're going to answer every single question you have about the system. And then just as a quick little note, our newest group will have one of my favorite sessions, Mastering Direct Response Lead Generation. You can't miss it. It's great. And that'll be on Wednesday, but we'll discuss that more in detail on Monday.
All right, well, look at that. I want to thank everybody for being part of the program. I hope you enjoyed our ad clinic here today. Big thanks to Rick and Andrea, as always, for doing a great job. Everybody have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you Monday morning for our helpline session. Take care, and that concludes today's webinar.